I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I made. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb, yeah, till I made. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. Listen, the old man knew Jesus when I met you. Oh, what a day when you called my name. Come on, and I ran out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. This is my story. This is your story. Come on, listen. I needed rescue. My sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter. I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future. My eyes are open. 'Cause when you call my name, shout it. I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Oh, come on, hey. You call my name, I came running out of that grave. 2017, let's hear it. The loudest shout you've got in you. Give it to us. Come on. There's no space that his love can reach. There's no place where we can find peace. There's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I'm holding on. I am low like this. Oh my God, to find I am overwhelmed. What a joy divine. Lord, like this sets a heart on fire. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am. This is my resurrection song. This is my hallelujah come.
So full this morning. Oh, that was in the wrong spot.
Who's ready to have some fun?
morning, Vox. It's so good to see so many of you this morning. I missed being here last week, and I think maybe some of you have missed being here as well. So, hi. I got a message from Debbie this week. She asked me whether I'd heard about the guy who invented knock-knock jokes. Apparently, he'd got the Nobel Prize. Tambourine for the win. Very good, very good. This week, we have things. There are things on the calendar. There's discussion night at my house on Thursday, back to the norm. We would love to see you there, whether you usually come out or not. You would be more than welcome to come out, chat about some of the things that we've been chatting about on Sunday, or something else that comes up. You never quite know what will happen with discussion night, do you, Patrick? No, but it's always good. You might. You might get one person and get to sit around and eat cookies, or you might have 10 people, and you really never know where that conversation will go once you throw it out to begin with. It's a bit like Calvin Ball, but it's always worth showing up for. But if Thursday night doesn't work for your schedule and you still want to hang out, Friday night at 5:30 at Abs and Randy's is our potluck dinner, board game craft evening fun thing. And I'm told if you have a board game you love, if you have crafts you love doing, if you have like adult coloring books you love, whatever is your jam, feel free to bring them along and see Abs and Randy for address and details. It should be a good evening. I don't know of any other announcements, but maybe somebody else does, and I always like to give a minute to check if I'm missing anything. Anything up there? I'm not looking at you. I'm checking upstairs. I'm checking everywhere. Okay. I did not say that.
That was better than the joke.
I was so close. Am I though, Roy? Am I? We could have that debate if you wanted to. I got so close. I got so close to getting us through. There are lots of lovely snacks in the other room. There are no birthdays this morning. I didn't skip them, unless somebody who's here for the first time had their birthday this week and wants to be called out and embarrassed and sang to. Oh, it's Jen's birthday. Well, then we know how to solve for that.
That's all you. You got it, Patrick.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jen. Happy birthday to you. Woo! All right, lovely. Help yourself to snacks. We take a little 10-minute, 15-minute break here so that we can chat with each other, and then we will be back for the rest of our service.
these waters, your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you never failed and you won't start now. So I will call upon
So Quentin and I, my son right behind me here, we had this plan. When I saw these stairs, I was like, I should totally climb up and slide down the stairs like I'm an action hero. And then I realized and remembered that I'm old. And I thought that would be a really bad idea. So if you've been around Vox for the last several weeks, we've been doing these discussions for Lent. Thank you, Quentin. I very much appreciate it. And we've been interviewing people that, well, attend here at Vox. So I'm going to get Nicole to come on up because Nicole and I are going to chat. And it was fun. On Tuesday, we sat down to try and figure out what we were going to talk about. And she says to me, I'm a pretty quiet person. I don't talk a whole lot. I'm not really into sharing very much. And then we talked for 3.5 bloody hours. It was, so strap in. We're going to be here for a while. If you need to take a potty break, that's fine. Let me know. How you doing?
Good. Is this working?
Is this thing on? We're good now? You guys can
We're
hear
good?
everything? Excellent.
All right.
Okay. So one of the things that stood out for me when we talked on Tuesday is you and I have very similar backgrounds with our grandmothers.
Yes.
So I lost my grandmother this week, so it's pretty fresh. But both of us, our grandmothers were like instrumental, like foundational for us as who we are as human beings today. So can we start, first of all, this is Nicole.
Hi.
Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited. Tell me about that. Like, what was it like the connection with your grandmother? Like, what is foundational for you from her?
My grandmother was, I always say she wore the pants in the family. Because you got to think back in her time, because she's been passed away since 98. She was born in 1912. So women back in the day weren't allowed to be the head of the family usually. But she was a one-room school teacher, and I think that probably helped.
She had to control all of the kids.
She had to control those kids, right? And she was married to a fisherman. It was a very old-fashioned nuclear family. And growing up, she just had a very strong work ethic, morals, values, and so everything that she represented, I wanted to be. So basically, she was like a mentor for me, and that's what paved my way for not just in church, but for my life.
In general, yeah. That was the big thing that connected the two of us, and I think that kind of started off a big, long conversation. And for me, we started talking about grandmothers, and then we stayed talking about grandmothers for about like an hour. And it was a really neat experience for me, and it was healing. So I really appreciate the fact that you took time to do that for me. Now, you said that your grandmother wore the pants. What did your grandfather think about your grandmother wearing the pants?
Don't think he had a choice. He loved to get her going. He was very mischievous, so he would purposely poke the bear, and get her going. And we would just chuckle.
So I gotta ask this question, Jen. Is this similar? Do you poke the bear? Are you good at it, or does she poke the bear?
She tries not to.
She tries not to. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you the bear poker then, or?
Sometimes. I think we give it back and forth. Yeah.
Heather does marriage counseling in case you guys need that in the future. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so you said that she was instrumental in some of your church stuff. What was your church tradition? Where did you come from with that stuff? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so for me, church was simply, my mother didn't really go to church, so whenever I went to visit my grandmother, which was quite often, we would go to church together. And I know that my relationship was different with my grandmother, obviously, than her kids had with her, because as she got older, she was brought up with a very staunch British background. So she was very tough on her kids. But then as she got older, and she told me this, as she got older, she became less strict, less, I guess she said, less focused on things that she knew didn't really matter. For example, simple things like going to church and thinking you had to be quiet and reserved and all that. And she said, I just learned to relax and not sweat the small stuff. And that is my experience with her, which was different than my parents, or not my parents, my mother's experience with her. Yeah, so I would go to church with her. And then, of course, religiously went on Easter, Christmas, like all those holidays. But my mom didn't go during the week, or sorry, when we didn't visit. So I didn't get to go every Sunday, but when I did, I enjoyed it.
Okay. What was the tradition like? Like, what did Anglican or
It was Anglican,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So we have some of that in the background here. With I know Trevor and Heather grew up in the Anglican church. Anybody else Anglican? Patrick? Anybody else? Patrick? Both Patricks? The Patricks. That's kind of fun. So it was it more? It wasn't your Anglican experience. Wasn't like Vox, was it?
Not even close.
Okay. What did that look like? What did it look like for you?
Well, growing up, it was very reserved. You stood up a lot, you kneeled a lot.
How are your knees?
Actually, I have pretty good knees. I'm lucky.
There you go.
I didn't get exposed to more I can't even say the word evangelical type church until I was an adult.
Okay.
Living in Cambridge, Ontario. So that would have been when I was in my 40s.
Okay.
So I hadn't
Okay.
been exposed to that till later in life.
Okay. So later in life in Cambridge, eh? What did that look like?
I went to the Pentecostal church in Cambridge, and I went to the Reformed church in Cambridge.
Okay.
And love the music. And that's when I realized that's how I connect,
Okay.
is through the music.
Through the music. It's funny because so we've had Michelle, which we talked about a bunch about music, and then we had Kate, which we talked a whole bunch about music, and it was like you guys had similar in some aspects of music background. And then we talked to Tom, and Tom was like, we didn't have drums, we weren't allowed to, and we had a piano, but it was an upright piano, and we were very strict about the things. So what was it like for you in the Pentecostal Reform kind of? I'm assuming those are very similar for you. No. I mean, like the structure of a Sunday morning service. No, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So what was it like? Oh, everybody in the room is kind of like, Roy, come on. That I practice. Okay, that I practice. I look in the mirror in the morning and remind myself that I'm pretty. Anyways, let's get back on track and talk about Nicole. Enough about me, Nicole. Enough about me.
And you are still cute. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I try.
The Reformed church was, to me, pretty similar, actually, to, I want to say Vox, in the
Okay.
way that the music, like the type of music they played. They had a sermon, just like we do. But it was a little more reserved, I think. Than Pentecostal was more flamboyant. Like you had people speaking in tongues, you had people up dancing. Pardon me. So, yeah, there's quite a difference in the way they preach, even.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you switch between the two?
I love the music. It's all about the music for me.
So you went from the Reformed to the Pentecostal, or vice versa?
Both
or-
back and forth.
You went back
Yeah,
and forth.
yeah.
You were like all of the church.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. All right. So then that leads me to my next question. Then, like, you joined Vox last year, right? At the beginning of the year. So yeah, you just passed. You're around the 1-year mark here at Vox.
Not yet. June. I think it's June
June?
will be
Okay.
a year.
All right. What made you come to Vox, and what has made you stay?
I have a therapist, and I've had a therapist probably for 30 years. But my therapist, and I'm a big believer in that, my therapist was talking to me about community. And my wife had just finished her first of 2 knee replacements, and I'm retired from the RCMP, and I didn't feel like I had my community anymore. When I worked, my comrades were my community, and they are the ones who helped me through all the difficult times. So as being retired, I didn't have that anymore. And I had said to my therapist that I was looking for a community, and I have been looking for a church in Barrie for a while, but I was very timid. Because all the churches I've been to before would say, please come, great, but we still think you're gay, so we think you're sinning. And I really had a hard time with that, reconciling that within myself, that yes, you can come, but you're looked at as a sinner in that way.
Yep.
So I was kind of, I don't know if I want to go back to church. But she had Googled churches in Barrie, and Vox popped up. And I said, I actually read the Vox website before and contemplated coming. And I said, you know what, maybe it's the right time. I'm retired, I'm looking for community, why not try it? So I convinced a friend of mine, Jimmy, to come with me.
I remember now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So first of all, what I liked was when I did come, and I'm pretty sure it was Tom who came over to say hi to me, my first time here. But no one seemed to pounce on you when you come in the door or start asking you intrusive questions, like interrogate you. Whereas I find some churches are like that. You come in and they're asking, oh, are you married? Do you have kids? And that would turn me off because I'm very private. So what I liked is you guys kind of stood back, let me get comfortable first, and then started talking.
And then we bounced.
Then you attacked. No. So and that's what I found I could kind of get used to it and not run out the door or feel intimidated.
Okay. So if you knew people, you don't have to worry for a couple weeks, and then we're coming after you. So it'll be totally fine. It's totally fine. So why have you stayed here?
Well, first of all, it is a community.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love is that you let me play in the band, even though I'm a beginner guitarist, and you don't care how bad I sound. Yeah.
We love it.
You still let me come up on Sundays. And I'm not saying all churches, but some churches are very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not just anyone can go into the band. Certain people, you have to be a certain caliber, et cetera, in order to get, yeah, clearly. Well, you would think up here today, everyone's doing such a great job.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone's really doing a good job today that we have a certain caliber, but no, you let me, you find a space for me, and you found a space for me, and then as I was playing on the guitar and learning more and playing gospel music, it just came together. Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one thing that we tried this past year is to bring as many voices, as many people up on stages as we could fit and still make sure that there was room to move around a little bit. Yes, yeah. I want people to talk to. Right? That's been a lot of fun. Okay, so you enjoy all of this kind of stuff. We've got nothing else to talk about. No, I'm only kidding. So we talked a little bit about like your upbringing and stuff like that. Where were you born? Where were you raised?
You probably can tell from my accent. I'm from the East Coast. Yeah. I'm from Nova Scotia originally, and
Whereabouts?
Lower Sackville.
Lower Sackville. Okay.
Or Lower Sackville is how we pronounce it. Sackville.
That's great.
Yeah. I moved away, I moved away for work when I was 22, and I haven't moved back. So I've been away since then.
Okay.
I'm 52 now.
Okay. All right. That's a bit of time. And it was just work that pulled you away?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you were in the RCMP.
Yes.
What, I want to get towards service because we talked a bit about service. What drew you towards the RCMP or sucked you in towards it? Like you started really young and you knew really early in your life, right?
I think it was grade 8. I decided I was going to be an RCMP officer. And back in Nova Scotia, that's all you see. So here it's OPP, Barrie Police, whatever. Well, in Nova Scotia, it's RCMP. So it was a natural progression. I started when I was about 14. I was part of a Scouts group. I don't know if you've heard of Rovers or Venturers, but I was a Venturer to start, which was 14 years old. And they had a vocational Venturers group, and it was RCMP Ventures. So the people, the advisors or the leaders of that group were RCMP officers. So right from then, I was being exposed to male and female officers, the type of life, etc. And then I graduated to the Rovers, and then eventually I became a summer student at my local detachment. And then I was involved in everything. I was a guard for overnight. If you were put in cells overnight, they'd call in a guard. I would be that. Pardon me, I should have brought a water.
Okay. McKenna, would you mind? Thank you, dear.
And then I was a coordinator for the victim services. So I dealt with victims of crime. And then I was an auxiliary officer, which is like a volunteer RCMP officer. And yeah, and I was a summer student. So I had my fingers in it all. So by the time I left to go to training, I was 22. just finished university, and I had a lot of RCMP friends that were already in the force.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your background is in the RCMP? Because you did like everything, right? Is that okay? Can we?
Yeah.
Can we? Where did you start when you like?
Thanks,
Obviously, I'm
McKenna.
assuming. Thank you, Kenna. I'm assuming you started like working the beat. Like, how does it work?
Yeah,
Working the beat.
yeah.
Right. See that? I watch cop shows. I have no idea.
Yeah, so my first posting was Newfoundland. And
Where in Newfoundland? I didn't ask you that.
yeah, Grand Bank. And it's as small as it sounds.
Were you like you were the only cop for 1,000 kilometers?
Pretty well.
Okay.
We had 4 people at the time. Luckily, those 2 males, 2 females. It was a town of 5,000. And
4 people for 5,000 people?
well, we had a big detachment area, so it was probably, I don't want to say 30,000, but about 30,000. But it took, if you drove from one end of the detachment area to the top, it would be over 3 hours.
Holy crap.
So you're covering, it's more people because it's landmass type thing.
Yeah.
So when I arrived there, it was a blizzard. I flew in and we landed, and I thought we were getting it was a refueling spot. It was the airport. It was before they actually built a new St. John's airport.
Yeah.
It looked like a warehouse, like a little shed.
That's amazing.
I'm like, where am I?
I have made a bad decision.
Then my trainer picked me up, and he basically said, it was a snowstorm, so he said, Nicole, I want you to watch the edge of the road. If I go towards the ditch, let me know. That's how much visibility we had.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Welcome to town, Nicole.
yeah. So when we finally arrived, we just drove up on the lawn of the detachment, and the next day I came out, and I didn't even know which way was out because I couldn't, we were so snowed in.
Amazing.
And when I first arrived there, I thought I was a straight young lady who was going to build a family and a white picket fence and live my life. And it wasn't
Nope.
so. No, no. So it became difficult when I realized my sexuality was not straight. And after 3 years, I asked for a transfer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And where did you go? So you worked the beat. Could you call it a beat? Like, would it even be like called a beat up there? It would be like a path, not quite the beat.
Cow path.
A cow path.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I remember, I gotta tell you this story. I remember one Boxing night was big in Newfoundland for partying.
The boxing night?
Yeah. And I remember one night. Yeah, Boxing Day night.
evening of
Into the
Boxing
night.
The day into the night.
Into the night.
It probably
Yes.
was too at the same time.
I remember we had 3 police cars. Most of the time it was 2, but we had 3. I was the only one working, and I wanted to convince the community that we had more than one person on shift. So what I would do is I would go back to the detachment and switch cars. Drive around town, switch cars, drive around again, to give them the false idea that there was more than me working.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So you had to be really creative on how you dealt with things.
I'm learning so much about you, Nicole. You're so sneaky.
Yeah,
Very
you have to be.
sneaky. Oh my god. It's
Strategic.
not sneaky.
I
it's
like
strategic.
strategic better.
If I did it, it's sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because when I worked bars, we used to do that all the time. We would kind of trade up and people would go walk around so it looked like you had more than 3 people working in a bar of 250 people. So
right.
I get you. I get you. I get you. So you were there for 3 years and working the cow path.
Yeah.
Where did you move on to from there when you,
I
because
went-
you were in one spot for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, then I went to the Toronto airport, and I had never driven in Ontario before. Yeah, before this. Ooh, I get nervous just talking about it. It was so intense. So luckily, I was still in a marked police car, because you get on the 400 or the 401, and if you're in a marked police car, they let you in. Okay?
sneaky.
So what I was in charge of was arresting people for bringing drugs into the country. And a lot of times we had to go to the hospitals and babysit them while they passed the drugs. So my boss would say, Nicole, you need to go to Milton. So I'd be at the airport in Toronto, and they'd say, get in the car and go to Milton and take over babysitting, or I say babysitting, guarding
Crap
someone.
job.
And I'd be, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I have to get on that highway. they didn't give me any training, extra training for this. So it was like I had two iron arms or steel rods when I was on that highway. And I would pray a lot, and I would just do it, and I got used to it, and now it's no big deal. But you go from Newfoundland, where the cowpath thing, to Toronto, it was a shocker.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I don't like going from Barrie to Toronto. Forget about like the middle of nowhere, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
That's wild. So how long were you at the airport for?
So I was there for 4 years. I did not enjoy that posting at all because I found that you were dealing with a lot of people who were in bad places in their lives, made a bad decision to bring in drugs. They were preyed upon, basically, by the upper echelon. They say, okay, that type of person, for example, would never get to go down south in their lifetime. So when you say, I'll give you a free trip down south or Jamaica or wherever, you just have to do this for me, they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy arresting these people and putting them away. So I was happy to leave. It was 4 years. Then I got my dream posting, and that was fraud. And I'm sure everyone's like, oh, fraud.
That's exactly what my response
Yeah.
was, actually. I was like, fraud? Really? That was
But
your
it
dream
is
posting?
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Fraud is a fascinating investigation. You get to do everything. Because in Ontario, you probably have noticed, you don't see us driving around in police cars. Usually we're on surveillance, we're in plain clothes. So we do a lot of chasing people around in our cars, okay? Not very often do we get to open an investigation where we get to interview witnesses, victims, suspects. Then we get to execute warrants for that same file, and then take it to court. It's usually you play a role such as, okay, you're going to chase this guy for the next 6 months. That's your job every day. Sit in a car.
Sit in the car and watch.
So for me, fraud was much better.
Right. You follow right from the beginning of right all the way up.
Yes.
That's so one of this is kind of the moment where I think we realized that service was such a huge thing for you, and then we kind of also I realized anyways, that service is a spiritual discipline. The act of serving others, the act of service, is a spiritual discipline. And it was funny, as we were talking, I was like, oh, there it is. It clicked. And it was the story. You told me a story about somebody that you helped. They got themselves into some trouble. Can you share that story or no?
Sure, yes, I can.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. So one of the things a lot of people don't think about when they think of police is they think of the enforcement part or, getting the bad guys. The thing is in policing is there's very few bad guys out there. They're people just like you and I who make mistakes, right? So the 99.9% of the people you arrest are not evil people. They're just human beings, right? So I had this case, and this is an example of why I became a police officer. So I had this case. It was a young mother of 6. She was Indigenous. And she had a fetal alcohol syndrome. So just that, you think about all the things I've mentioned so far, she's got some barriers in life, right? Well, one of the jobs of the RCMP in Ontario is to investigate federal offenses. And this young lady had a husband who passed away, and he was getting about $200 a month from Veteran Affairs for service. When he passed away, she did not notify the bank. So she ended up defrauding the government about $4,000, something like that. Not a lot, but again, that's what we investigate. And at that time, I don't know if it's still that way, the focus would have been just charge her, get her to go to court and get it over with. Whereas that is exactly the opposite of how I would look at that situation. I looked at the whole person. I looked at her living situation, her mental capabilities, etc. So I found out that the Canadian government had changed certain court processes. So Indigenous people could do diversion, but Indigenous-led diversion, okay?
Can you explain that just a little bit?
So they have a diversion, so instead of getting a criminal record, you can do community service or something of the sort.
Okay.
Well, the new policy was you would say go to a healing center to do your time. So you work on yourself, but it's also Indigenous-led. So you're using those the culture and the practices to help heal and do the restoring of yourself. So I found out that they had that in Old City Hall in Toronto. So I also had to get her to confess. In order for her to be in the diversion program, she had to tell me the truth, okay? The thing about TV is, you watch TV, they always say, if you tell me the truth, then I will do this, this, this. Well, in Canada, that's not allowed. You cannot promise anything. So I had to convince her to talk to me, even though I couldn't promise her anything. But in my head, I'm thinking, please confess so I can put you in this program, right? So she did. And I arranged everything. I got her to meet me in the courthouse. I went to the prosecutor. I told him I wanted this woman to go through diversion, the Indigenous-led diversion program. I found her someone to represent her. And then I brought them all into the same room, and I said, do your thing, right? So she ended up getting accepted, and she ended up without a criminal record. Right. Got to keep her kids, get to move on with life. That is why I became a police officer. Yeah. So I never looked at it as the people I were arresting were just, I don't know, criminals. Right. They were people who deserved to be treated with respect.
Yeah. So, how do I want to do this? When Tom and I were talking last week, Tom was saying that the Mennonite community comes out of the Anabaptist background, which is very nonviolent, very pacifist kind of way of doing things. And I thought it would be really interesting. I did this totally intentionally. I have no idea what the hell. Where Nicole comes from this background with the RCMP, which is probably in a lot of cases not nonviolent.
Correct.
And not pacifist, right? Sort of. Maybe it is a little bit pacifist, right? Because there's an aspect of what you just explained that you could have just been like, nope, sorry, off to prison you go, do not collect $200. Instead, you did this diversion program with her. So can we take a minute and talk about how do you reconcile those things with Jesus? That might be a weird question. And what drove you to want to look at these kind of cases and these people differently than the people than some of your colleagues maybe? Can we do that?
Sure, it's how I grew up. I grew up in a trailer park, poor, but with a great set of grandparents. I had people in my life that believed in me, who helped instill in me the values and morals and the belief in God, okay? So I recognized at an early age that I was lucky to have that. Even just an example is when I went to go to training, you needed $2,000 in your bank account in order to go to training.
Oh, wow, okay.
My grandfather gave me that money.
Okay.
So if he wasn't there to give me that $2,000, I wouldn't have gotten in. So that was privilege, in my opinion, okay? So, and I remember being at the RCMP detachment and seeing some of the older police officers dealing with, say, rape victims and different things, and thinking, if I was a rape victim, I wouldn't want to be interviewed by them. And I thought, you know what, the only way to change how people are treated by the police is to become the police. And just focusing on what you can do in your little sphere of influence. You can't control everybody, but you can control how you treat people. And then it opened up a whole different world for me because I realized how many good people there were in policing. Some of the best people I've ever met, I worked with. Great fathers, great mothers, just people. A lot of them are also people who come from trauma, who decide to get in policing because of that. There's yes, you're going to have the few that just put it on for power, put the uniform on for power. But there are few. Those are very unique. It's usually people who want to make their world better.
Okay, that's interesting. I like how you said about, no, I don't want to do that. Hey, listen, I'm writing this crap as we go, okay? There's a thing that you said about helping people and seeing people as people and not just as like criminals or what have you. you told me the other day that you just finished reading the Bible all the way through for the first time. You've read snippets of it, and you grew up a little bit in church. What stood out for you that connected those things for you? We didn't talk about this on Tuesday, but like, what stood out for you that you were like, oh, maybe that's the reason why? Was there anything like that in the image of Jesus, the way that he treated people? Not that I'm trying to lead you in anything.
Well, obviously, he met with the people that were pushed to the side, or they ostracized for being disabled or for being a prostitute or whatever. He met with those people, and he looked at people as they were valued, right? No matter what.
I like that. Valued,
Right?
that's a good word.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about service being spiritual discipline. Can we work through what that might look like what that looks like in your idea of Jesus, the character of Jesus, and how that relates to your work in the RCMP? Not that I'm trying to, Here, Nicole, this is the thing I want you to say. No, I'm only kidding.
Coercion.
Don't tell Bethany. Shh. Sorry.
I'm of the belief, and I don't know if this comes from my grandmother, it probably does, because she volunteered for everything, but I am of the belief that one person has a lot of power to make their community better. And every day of my life, I try to think, well, how can I make life a little bit better for the people in my community? And that could be someone at the grocery store, you know? I mean, many times I've gone to a store and people think I work there because I'm helping someone shop, right?
Kenna.
Right? It's just, I just feel like we have so much power to make other people's lives a little bit better every day. And I don't think we realize sometimes. And I also believe in service to the community. Now, I did retire because I was burnt out.
Okay.
I felt like I had given enough of my body and soul to my profession. I gave it my all, and it was time to go.
Okay.
But I have no regrets. It's tough to work in a system that's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's far from that. But I truly believe that you can make it at least better for people, right? And one example is I had a lady I had arrested for importing drugs, and I smoked when I was like 22 for like 6 months. That was it.
Okay. I don't do any drugs at all.
Okay,
Just
good.
saying. I sleep
So-
well, though.
I arrested her and I was taken to the hospital. She had to be examined, and she was a smoker. So I purposely stopped at like a Circle K, went in so that I could still see her and make sure she didn't do anything to herself.
Oh, cigarette smoking.
Yeah,
Okay, totally.
cigarette
not what I was
smoking.
expecting.
I went
Wow.
in, I bought her a pack of cigarettes, and I let her have a few smokes before and after her visit to the doctor. And when it came to trial, I heard her tell her defense attorney, "That's the lady cop who gave me cigarettes." Right? So she remembered that, though. She was like, wow, that police officer treated me like I was a person and not just someone who should be thrown into jail and throw away the key.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Can we, we're running out of time, and I want to do some questions. What does service look like for you now?
That's
Yeah,
a tough
we were
one.
talking a little bit
Yeah.
about trying to figure.
Looking after my spouse, yes, honey. It is a tough one for me now because I am not 100% healthy. And service for me is, I believe it right to my core. It's my purpose in life. So now it looks as trying to balance that drive and that passion to serve, but at the same time protecting my health and making sure that I'm taking care of myself. So it's always a dance.
Yep. It's, we've had a bunch of conversations about that kind of thing. So, man, I wish we could. Okay, we're not going to do that. Nat, can you give me a hand for a second? If we have any questions, would you throw the microphone at whoever has questions? Does anybody have any questions? Carrie has questions. So what we're going to do is if you could give her the microphone, that would be great. And even if we have questions up top there, we can do that as well. Nat will just have to run fast, that's all. Man, I just got a look. You guys online have no idea the look I just got. Okay, Carrie, go ahead.
First of all, I just want to thank you so much for
putting yourself in harm's way for so many people in different communities, and like for all the years that you did that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah. I do have a question. Being a frontline worker is tough business. And at the end of a lot of days, I know it's important to kind of work through the things you've seen or heard or whatever you've had to participate in. What are some of the ways that you, like, what are some things you did to debrief yourself or to like work through some of those little incidences or whatever?
In the beginning of my career, unfortunately, I didn't do a good job of that. And it made me very sick. And then I learned, I have to talk. So I'm still working on that. But learning to talk about how you feel and process things that you see in your job is so important. And I hear some people say, well, talking's not going to help. It does. It does help. Also, I've always had this belief and hope that there is a higher power and that there is a God watching even when you don't think they're watching, and that what you do matters. So I think just knowing that what you do, whether it's like a small thing you think is a small thing, it has a ripple effect. And that you may not see the end result, but what you're doing has a purpose. Yeah.
That answer your question? Yeah, cool. Jamie?
I just had a couple questions. First is like, did you ever notice or see any like corruption inside, like, the force?
I was pretty lucky. I didn't. I'll give an example of why I believe perception's important, not just whether there is or not corruption. Perception's important. And an example of that is they started doing things a bit differently. For example, if I pulled you over with a boatload of alcohol and you were underage or whatever, it had to be seized, right? No, not take a bribe, but it had to be seized. Years ago, all that booze would just go to the detachment, right? Yeah. Well, the RCMP started to realize perception is important. So now, 30 years ago, what they started doing is pouring it out in front of you, so that you don't assume we're out there drinking your seized booze, okay? Yeah. So I believe perception's important. So I thought it was silly. I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and drink it. No. But they're like, no, people think you do. So I think transparency is important. I think accountability is important. And I think that we need processes in place to keep people in power accountable, because power corrupts. I don't care what area you're from.
If I could add to that, just before I want to come back, just give me 1 second. We were talking about this with tithing envelopes.
Yes.
Right, and having multiple eyes on tithing envelopes and counting money and stuff and making sure that we write it down. So I like that, because at first I was like, I don't like having a whole bunch of people hands on stuff, because then, and then the more we talked about it, the more I'm like, no, that's a really good idea. We need to do that. So if you see Nicole going into the tithing box and pulling stuff out, and the two of us sitting down and looking at stuff, that's why, because we're being accountable.
Yeah, you want to make sure people feel like they can trust you, right?
Yeah, one more?
Yeah, and then I had another question. What was like the most traumatic experience? Like,
I don't know if we want to do that. We're live streaming too, so do you have another one, or?
No, that's basically it.
Okay, thanks, sorry.
I do want to just say one quick thing. In regards to corruption, I did have a chance to work on a case, because a lot of times in Ontario, there's the thought of corruption, they'll get another police force to investigate so that they're more independent. Yeah, right. What angers police officers more than anything are corrupt officers. I don't think, I hate to use the word hate, but we hate that because it ruins it for everybody. Yeah.
That's good. Michelle?
I have a question. What spiritual practices do you find most beneficial for deepening your relationship with God?
Poor Jen has to listen to me sing and play all the time. Yeah.
She's gotten
So thanks,
better.
Roy, for that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, has to listen to me. Oh, I'm just belting it out at home.
You're welcome, Jen.
Yeah. So
See that?
and me trying to change chords, and 5 minutes later I've changed the chord. Anyway, it is my spiritual practice now is playing music.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Anybody else before we go? We got enough time for one or two more. Okay.
Are you sure?
Michelle with another question.
You mentioned that, you mentioned you went to church when you were younger, then you had a hiatus, and then in your 40s, you started going back to church. Why did you start going back to church in your 40s? What led to that?
That's a
Can
very
we
good
talk
question.
about that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very good question. I always believed I always believed in God. I always believed that I was a good person despite being gay.
Go figure.
I know, go figure. And it was a constant struggle for me that I wanted to be part of a church, but no one wanted me because they thought because of that one, and I say one thing, but it is my identity, that they didn't want me and that I didn't deserve it. And I always longed to get back to church, and obviously I didn't give up, right?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm really glad you're here.
I'm glad to
Really
be
glad
here.
you're here. One more question, anybody? Up top? No? Okay.
Can I just say one more
Yeah.
thing? Go ahead, your question.
Hold on, I'm coming.
She's not running.
I did have another one, but then like I forgot, but now I remember. But it was just how, I don't know how this relates, but just over time how some laws have changed, like say decriminalization, like marijuana, and
Yeah.
like prohibition, like
Yeah, they changed the
Nicole's
weed.
like, yes.
They changed the weed law, thank goodness. No,
Half the room just went,
yeah.
yeah.
Woohoo! And that's the thing is,
Love this church.
first of all, I just want to say that thank goodness they've changed the laws. And it angers me when I think about even the RCMP, how we've been used, bless you, we've been used by the government to enforce laws that aren't fair. Whether that be bring kids home, Indigenous kids home, back to school, residential schools, whether it be you had a half a gram of marijuana and you get a criminal record. All those laws, I'm glad, are changing. But when you're practicing, you have to enforce them, whether you agree with it or not.
yeah, because that was another thing I was gonna say too, was like to history, like with like Reconciliation Day, with like the 60 scoop,
Yes.
with how they treated natives.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And to me, that should be part of our history and part of talking about how, I remember, I'll give you an example. I know we're running
Yeah,
out
we
of
gotta
time.
wrap things up.
I'll make it real quick. I was in a healing circle, and the guy next to me, a black man who's also Indigenous, which I did not know at the time, was an RCMP officer. And I didn't find out he was part Indigenous until we had that healing circle, because he would hide it, because he was ashamed. So there is a long history of us not reconciling, and I'm hoping someday we can start healing from that.
Get one more
And
quick.
then, like you said, with your partner, but how did the force back in the day treat that? Like, you know, homosexuality,
yeah.
stuff like that.
I came out in '97, and it was fine. Yeah.
Nice. So I'm going to get the worship team to come up slowly. And do you have any last thoughts? Anything you want to share before we
I
finish?
would like to say, if you hear about corruption or anything, investigations on the news, I want you to be happy, not sad about it, because that means it's being investigated. If you don't hear anything going wrong with human beings, be scared.
That's great. Is your chair back? So I'm really enjoying this bit of a series that we're doing next week. Heather is sitting down and talking with a longtime member of Vox Church. Like, how long? Old. Very old. I'm sorry, Janelle. Carol Ann says that it's very old. Very, very old. Emphasizing the old and the very. So she's going to sit down and talk with Janelle next week, which is going to be great. And then we move into Easter. So we're super excited, and I'm so glad that all of you guys are here, and I hope you keep coming back. And I'll get out of the way. love that song. I was standing behind the stage dancing, and then I looked up and I'm like, oh, you're on camera, dumbass. That was great. So the love of God be the passion in your heart, the joy of God, your strength. When times are hard, the presence of God, a peace that overflows within you, the word of God, the seed that you might sow. And through this week, I bless you and I pray for you, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week.
Same bad channel.
Look at that.
Be the